Hi friends, Ben back again. This time with another wonderful video about how to go about reading your spark plugs. This topic is kind of sensitive because one really can't make out what's going on inside the engine with just the reading the electrodes of the spark plug and making conclusions. But that being said, to some extent you can come to know what's going on inside the engine, and that's kind of important. So this video is all about me removing the spark plug. I'll run you through how to go about it, how to remove it carefully without stripping the threads, and just looking at it and trying to understand what's going on. First thing you need is this spark plug coupler, which comes along with the Royal Enfield toolkit. It has two openings on both the side, and both of these openings you can use to remove certain size of nuts. This I'm guessing would be a size 15 or 16, and this side would be a 12, I guess. You need a screwdriver, something like this, or you can use what comes with your toolkit to shove it into these holes and create enough leverage to open this. So that's about it. All the tools that you need is just this. What we do first is we go about pulling this plug cap upwards. Put your hand underneath, lift it, comes loose, tilt it gently onto one side, and then start wiggling it out. Again, keep in mind to tilt it outwards and then gently wiggle it out. So that's how you get this out. So once you've gotten this out, you need to be careful. You need to be very sure about there being no deposits and debris and dust inside this space. So the best thing to do is blow some air, and if it's still too dirty, take a piece of cloth and clean it inside the space. Once you remove your spark plug, you don't want anything falling into your combustion chamber, so be very careful with this part of the procedure. So what you do next is you shove the bigger end of the spark plug adapter onto the spark plug and shove the screwdriver in like that and gently pull onto the right. So I'm trying to move my coupler onto this direction so that it opens up. Once you've got it opened, all you need to do is gently start rotating the coupler by hand, and if it is a little too tight for your hands to be able to rotate it, you can still use the screwdriver. This is a slow time-taking process. Be very slow with this. Do not hurry it like the mechanics do. They do hundreds of bikes a day, and they don't care about stripping your engine head threads. But you need to be very careful with this. Kindly take your time with this. Do not hurry the process. And once you know that you've started undoing the threads, you can use your fingers and gently start rotating this. You don't need the screwdriver after a point of time. You will know when. It's always a good idea to do it when the engine is cold, just so that you can avoid cross-threading or stripping threads and all sorts of issues that can crop up if you do it on a hot engine. So always good if you just have a nice ride, come back home, let the bike rest for some time, maybe 2 hours or to do the job. Okay, so we have nearly run out of threads, we have completely removed the spark plug from the engine head, and now what you need to do is gently like that, pull it out. There you go. That's what you get to see. That's how the spark plug comes out of the engine head. We'll talk about this in some time. Try not to scratch this top portion against anything, because if you do that you will get a different reading. Keep it like the way it is. Do not rest it on a surface where you will have the top of it rubbing against something, so that you miss out on you make different conclusions. So that's the spark plug that's come out of the engine. I'll see you in a bit. In the meantime, what you need to be taking care of is nothing getting into that internal to the combustion chamber. So the best thing to do is take a piece of tissue, twist it so that it gets a pointy edge, and then just shove this in gently. Again, the word gently is of supreme importance. You do not want anything getting in there, so yeah, that's that ought to do. I'll see you guys in a bit. I'll talk about the spark plug and its condition. This focuses. Hi friends, this is Ben. So I have removed the spark plug from my motorcycle, and what I have with me here is the NGK Iridium spark plug. This particular model is CR8EIX. This, compared to the stock Bosch with a heat range of 5, this in comparison would be a colder plug. Hotter plugs conduct heat from the inside of the combustion chamber to the outside slowly, whereas colder plugs can transfer heat from the inside of the combustion chamber to outside quickly. And you need to be able to know what's happening here. So if you look at this, I've got a pretty decent clean center electrode, which is not smacking clean. It's kind of a dull white shade. And then I have my ground electrode, which has very little carbon deposits on it. For that matter, any kind of deposits. What this would suggest is a very decent operating temperature inside the engine, and a decent combustion happening. If you have a lot of carbon deposits on the ground electrode, that is the ground electrode being this part here, this is called the ground electrode, and this in the center is called the central electrode. What you want technically is least amount of carbon deposits on this and this. If you have a discoloration happen right in the middle from here till here, if you have a darker shade and it slowly tapers into gray tone, then you would mean that the operating temperature inside the engine is spot on. And be very particular about carbon deposits on the central electrode. If there is absolutely nothing, then you know for a fact that your engine is running the right mixture. But if there are carbon deposits on the central electrode, then you can know for a fact that the mixture is rich. And if this whole area is super blazed, super white, super clean, then you know that your engine is running a lean air fuel mixture. All said and done, this base ring also speaks volumes about your engine's mixture. In my case, my engine is running slightly rich. If you can see this sooty mixture that I can just gently, very gently take out. There's a thick, dark, sooty layer of carbon that I can slowly peel away by just running my screwdriver on top. If you can do anything like that with your with your plugs, then that would simply mean that your engine is running slightly richer air fuel mixtures. If you can do this, then it's slightly richer air fuel mixture that you're running, and that's totally all right. If it gets slightly richer, it's always good. But when it becomes lean, is when you ought to be worried, is because your internal temperatures will be soaring high. Otherwise, if you have a lot of carbon buildup on the ground electrode and the central electrode, then that would simply mean that there's poor combustion happening inside the engine. If you start seeing oily deposits, if you start seeing the entire area, this whole area being soaked up in oil, then you know that your valve seals or your piston rings are leaking oil into the combustion chamber. Another important thing is, because our engines are air cooled, we don't have a problem. But if we were to run liquid cooled engines, then you can also determine and understand if your coolant is leaking into the combustion chamber or not by just looking at the porcelain. If the porcelain, this white part is the porcelain. If the porcelain is smacking clean, it's super white, then you can be very sure that there is some coolant leaking into the combustion chamber and is steaming the whole thing and cleaning the spark. So that's another thing to be taking note of. Relatively new plug, so there's very little deposits here, but I've run about 3,000 kilometers on it, and so that ought to give you a good read of what's going on in the engine. But of course, with time, you will see a lot more of deposits. You ought to be cleaning the spark plugs every 5 to 10,000 kilometers. So keep that in mind. Why iridium? Iridium is long lasting. It will hold that small, the tiny bit of the central electrode that you see here is the iridium metal. Everything else is regular metals, plated and all sorts of things. So just that tiny bit that you see here is iridium, and that will hold its shape for at least 50,000 to a lakh kilometers. So one plug replaces 5 to 6 plugs or more in your motorcycle, depending on the mileage. One. Number two, another reason why iridium is because it's a tiny central electrode, and the spark width is wider compared to the stock copper plugs. So because the spark width that comes up from here and hits the ground electrode is wider, and you have a lot of surface area here because the central electrode is really tiny compared to a stock spark plug, and it produces a large wider spark. You have very high efficiency. This burns 99% of the mixture as opposed to the normal spark plugs. So what's important is for you to buy an iridium plug which is not equivalent, the heat range is not equivalent to the Bosch plugs. It is 1 or 2 steps colder. I'll tell you why. Is because this particular metal here, iridium, is a very poor conductor of heat. So the heat inside the the combustion chamber has to be carried out by the spark plug. That's another job of the spark plug, that is to conduct heat from the inside of the combustion chamber to the metal of the head. So a colder plug would do that quickly, whereas the iridium tip is a poor conductor of heat. So you need something which is a colder plug that can pull in the heat quickly and push it onto the engine head, cylinder head. So if you were to take the same heat range compared to the Bosch, a Bosch 5 heat range that comes stock with the Royal Enfield Himalayan would be an NGK iridium 6.5 or 7. So if you were to take the same heat range, then because iridium is a metal that conducts heat poorly, the engine operating temperatures will be higher compared to the engines that are running the stock copper plugs. So keep in mind that you need to go for a step colder, or at times you can take 2 steps colder if you were to choose the iridium plugs, is because colder plugs conduct heat faster, and so you compensate for the loss that happens. Keep in mind is to get colder plugs, because of iridium being a poor conductor of heat. You want something which is a colder plug, so that the heat that was being transferred from the combustion chamber to the cylinder head with the copper plugs is well managed by this plug also. Just get a colder plug, and this will do the equivalent of what a copper plug used to do, and burn better. Clean the plugs every 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers and you're good to go. Well, that's the whole story about iridium plugs and reading the plugs. That hopefully this video helped, and now you guys know how to go about reading the air fuel mixture that's going into the combustion chamber of your engines. And if you have any doubts, kindly post it on the comment section, and I'll be more than willing to help and answer all your doubts and queries. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you guys on another episode. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit the bell icon so that my new videos come up as notification. And yeah, I'll keep you guys entertained. Thank you so much.